Now let's start extracting the data. What we'll do is we'll start small, a few hundred records maybe from one of the T tables in SAP, and then we'll keep on going deeper. We'll go into a transaction table, VBFA, which is hundreds 100,000 plus record, and then we'll go into a log table which has a million, 5.3 million entries, and then we'll see what's the impact, what are the tweaks we need to do. All right, so first let's see. This should be pretty straightforward. T001W table, and if I check this, it shows me 290 entries, right? So now let's set up our extraction from SAP so that we can go ahead and do this. So what you're seeing here is the Postman. This is I'm showing this so that you can see we are using a REST protocol. Most of the scheduling jobs, they will support REST protocol, but if you don't have that, that's not a problem. Within your SAP system, the USB for SAP does provide you mechanics. Do it directly from your ABAP-based system. So this is the screen which you will run into, and it's pretty much the same parameters. Let me quickly walk you through those. So if you're doing T001W, and usually for high volume replication, we recommend both for security as well as performance reasons to replicate your data to an on-premise file share, which then can be moved. But if you wanted to set it up for cloud, that's possible as well, right? So what are the options here? We would be giving what's the object type. Here we are giving a T table, which is the plans table in SAP. We are also telling it we want the data in in these chunks. That's where the splitting of data into multiple record sets will come in. And then we are giving the NFS path of where we want this data to go, right? So this is a map drive, which will be there on your AL11 directory, and we are asking it to extract the data. That's pretty much what is needed, in the most basic setup. And similar setup, if you are able to extract it using the REST protocol from outside batch scheduler, same parameters you'll be setting up. T for table, your object name, which is T01W, and then you want the format as CSV, and then this path on the NFS where you want your data, and the block size is your how many records do we want in the output. So if once I run this, it tells me that it has gone ahead and created this file T001W on the SAP server directory, or rather the NFS directory. So if I was to go here, the file which it has created to 503, and I can go and see that this data is there. First row is always the column names, and then the rest of the records. All right, this was simple. Now let's go ahead and make this a bit more interesting with the VBFA table, right? And VBFA table, if I was to run this, let's see, what does the VBFA table has? It has 159,000 entries in this system. It's just a test system. There's not that many entries. I know some of the systems may have millions of entries there, but let's see what it does for the 159,000 entries, right? So that's pretty much it. You just change the name to VBFA, and we can leave rest of the parameters same. And when I do send, it takes a second for this to go and generate the entries. It has now split the data into multiple records. And let's see on the NFS share how it is doing. So on the NFS, you can see it has created the files. And then again, if I open these files, it is pipeline separated. And we have the header and the record. It took probably 5 or 10 seconds to do what was needed, but I think that yeah, here it says time was 10.21 second. And remember, this is just a test system which we have pretty desktop size memory for the SAP. Obviously, in a production grade environment, you will have much better horsepower. So 150,000 entries, 10 seconds on a dev kind of a server. All right, let's make this slightly more. So with this EDIDS, we have around 5.3 million entries. Let's go ahead and kick off this job from SAP. So I would have EDIDS, SAP table, and the same NFS destination, right? So when I trigger this, it takes in the request and starts parsing through this particular table, EDIDS, and is going to chunk the data as per this parameter. And this is something which probably we need to keep an eye out on. So there it is. It is starting to generate all of these outputs for EDIDS table, and we'll keep on generating till the time it runs out of all the records on the SAP table. Now, some of this might take, let's see how much time it will take overall for 5.3 million records. This is, remember, a dev system with no HANA. This is your regular ECC, and the horsepower on the system is not production grade, right? Channel going on 20, will go up to 25 or so. Let's see. Now, while it runs, do remember, based on your system horsepower, you might want to tweak again these parameters, which is your max runtime and the total heap area. Right now it is set up in our system to 2 GB. So the first file was generated 510. Let's see when is the last file for this table gets generated. Still waiting. All right, looks like it has finished, and on the logs it is showing me all the files it has written. So in all, if I go and check, there's 54 files which it wrote on the NFS share, and it has written all the records which were there. Now this data, this could be put onto your cloud or whatever repository needs this kind of information. Now, just to recap, what did we do? We extracted the data from a T table, pretty low volume, and then transaction table with hundreds of thousands of records, and then we went up to millions of records, and we extracted both from outside of SAP using REST as well as within SAP. Next, what I'm going to do is to do this for reports or the semantic data so that we can see how we can tweak those parameters for data extraction. And also in the link, I'll post the guide for incremental extracts. That's the chain data capture from SAP. All right, I hope you find this useful. Thanks.